The Brother's Son, episodes 1, 2, and 3.
She got the guy by the name of Charles. He's chilling in Tampay. Three dudes come in, he starts whipping ass and taking names, but he's about to burn his cake. Then his father comes in, he ends up getting shot by a sniper. Now his dad is rich, right? But the thing is, he's in critical condition. Now Charles thinks this dude by the name of Sleepy Chan is behind it because both of them control like certain triads in the world, whatever like that. But I got a feeling that's not who behind all this treachery. So because of all this, he's scared. He's got to protect the family. Now his family is living in Los Angeles, California. His mom and his brother Bruce. Bruce don't know nothing about this life. You know what I'm saying? He's going to school. You know what I'm saying? He's an Uber driver. Charles ends up getting to the house, but he ends up fighting this like 8-foot giant because apparently niggas been following him all the way from Taipei to freaking Los Angeles. He gets a done deal, but he still doesn't find out who he worked for. Bruce is chilling with his friend Mickey. He ends up trying to get him to sell drugs at a club. Now why? Because he uses tuition money to do improv classes. The people that go to run by this chick named Wendy, and she's fucking crazy. Charles comes at the wrong time to stop him from doing stuff, and this is the first time they've seen each other since I don't know how long. A bunch of mayhem happens. Yeah, man, this is a wild show. So in episode 2, they gotta find out who this dude was and who he worked for. So they chopped up the body parts and then they go to this guy that collects animals. But Charles still keeps the head in a purse. Now Charles is supposed to be taking Bruce to school at this point, but obviously they don't do that. They got this chick named Alexa studying the crime scene that happened at the club. She ends up catching up with Mikey and starts asking him questions. Pretty sure he folded like a damn lawn chair. They go to his house with his kids are having a birthday party or whatever like that. They're supposed to be dressed in dinosaur suits. The problem is the people dressed in dinosaur suits about to be murking niggas. The guy that owned the house that got done deal, there was a whole bunch of beef. Finally gets Bruce to school. He ends up meeting this chick named Grace, so it's like, okay, love interest. Charles was sitting in the car, but then he wanted to get out because he wanted to try churros. Yeah, he has a taste for them now. Not realizing there was blood on the back of his jacket. Security guard spots him, police spots him, Alexis spots him. We find out Alexis and Charles were actually close back in the day, actually for about 15 years. But she's not really a cop, she's like deputy DA. Grace wants to go to one of Bruce's improv shows, but then he looks out the window. We're like, what the heck is he staring at? So we're looking at like, is that Wendy at the school? We're like, oh shit. Man.
Episode 3. So we find out Bruce was kidnapped, not by Wendy, but Wendy's sister. Yeah, Wendy's still dead. And she also kidnapped Mikey too, because she thinks they were the ones that killed her sister. Meanwhile, Charles's mom is getting information based off of like this #1 Chinese restaurant after they go to play mahjong with the people. This is crazy. Mom finds out by herself where the apartment of the 8-foot tall man is, you know what I'm saying? This one dude comes in there, you know what I'm saying, about to give the business, but then she like does this fake crying thing and he runs out. Charles ends up finding a spot where his brother got kidnapped at, but Mikey's thumbs are still messed up. They about to fight. Bruce stops him from fighting or whatever like that. Turns out now he's got an ally in Wendy's sister. Charles actually gives Wendy's sister some details about some things. She's about to go handle it, but then he actually gives details to Alexis. So Alexis goes to #1 Chinese restaurant or whatever like that. Turns out the guys that done deal did his shit, right? So the police are checking in or whatever like that. One dude is dressed as a police officer. It's the same dude that came to the apartment that was about to scare the mom. I was like, what the fuck? He's part of this too? The show was mayhem for real, though.
Episodes 4 and 5.
So Bruce is supposed to be going to this improv thing that hopefully he's going to meet his girl Grace at. You know it's his girl, he feeling her. But they got Charles's bodyguard, Uncle Boots, you know what I'm saying, looking after him and whatnot. The thing is, they keep an eye on everybody because Sleepy Chan is actually supposed to be coming into town. But they got to meet at a neutral site, so Mikey's actually got his boys he's going to talk to, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to meet at the site there. Then when they get to the site, they end up meeting this dude by the name of Drowsy Lee. Drowsy Lee tough, he about that business. And him and Charles used to be cool. Thing is, they don't want money for the neutral site. They want to keep Mikey as collateral because apparently he ain't belt like that, you know what I'm saying? But they end up giving him money anyway. They go to the spot, they leave Charles in his room so he can get on the phone. And Charles is actually talking to Bruce. He's got kidnapped. He got him in one room, but Bruce is actually in the room with Sleepy Chan. Now, the thing is, Sleepy Chan talks in Mandarin. And he couldn't understand everything he was saying, but he understood certain stuff. Then all of a sudden, these dudes pop up out these dang old crystal balls, and they end up killing Sleepy Chan. So we're like, what the fuck? A whole bunch of mayhem takes place. Drowsy Lee people got murked, so now he's helping out, you know what I'm saying, Charles and everybody. Man, I'm telling you, he's fucking bonkers. So the crazy thing is, right, they were supposed to leave one guy left, whatever. But the thing is, the guy had a bomb on him. He ends up hugging Drowsy Lee, and they blow the fuck up. I was like, what? Drowsy Lee was so damn cool, and he only lasted one episode. That's some bullshit. Bruce and everybody got out except for Charles. Charles went another way, whatever like that. And then he found out he ended up getting rescued by Alexis. So Alexis got Charles hanging out at the house or whatever like that. She got to get his phone. It's back at the spa. Mom talks to the salesman dude, but she ends up getting kidnapped by this group called the Boxers. Bruce ends up going back to school, you know what I'm saying, with the other bodyguard, Charles' other bodyguard, Lisa. He ends up getting closer with Grace. Bruce ends up talking to Boots. Boots said he followed the Boxers or whatever like that to the location or whatever. But they ended up catching him and putting him in front of Mom. They want Mom to give him some certain information because apparently her name is the Rolodex. Basically, she knows she can't give him this information. Basically, gives up Boots. Boots accepts his fate. He's done, deal, dead as shit. Then Bruce comes out of nowhere with all these mahjong ladies or whatever like that. They ends up taking their mom out, and they just let him go. And now they know Mom's weakness. Bruce, obviously. Man, this shit. While this is going on, Charles is making sure everything is good. And then throughout this heated discussion, then they talk about that stuff that they used to do back in the day or whatever like that. Charles finally ends up giving Alexis the business. But then afterwards, of course, she wanted to get some more information. He wasn't down with it. And then he ends up dipping out, whatever like that. Now he's got to go back to his house. But the thing is, Alexis knew he was going to act like that because she had already put in a tracer and everything like that into the phone. So she figured she going to get information from him one way or another. So apparently this triad of the boxers have been the ones that have been behind this stuff the whole time. Not Sleepy Chan, not anybody else. And the crazy thing is they're just a bunch of juvenile kids or whatever like that. They want to take over triads because they want to get the information out of the mom, you know what I'm saying, because their name is the Rolodex. Which basically means she's got some crazy ass secrets that she can't be divulging. Which is the whole reason her and Bruce came to California in the first place and Charles stayed in Taipei. The episode ends where she gives Bruce all this information about stuff, yo. And Bruce is not trying to hold on to this stuff, but bottom line is, if anybody dies, he ain't got a choice. Man, I'm telling you, this show is insane, yo.
Episode 6 and 7.
Bruce got all the information from his mom. We find out her name is Hizzo. We had to learn 5 episodes until I finally found her name out. Bruce and Charles ended up going to the safe house that was sponsored by John Cho. You don't know what Cho is? That's Kumar from White Castle. Remember that shit? We found out Wendy's sister's been there the whole time. He still didn't go. She's supposed to be handling business. Turns out she actually went back to Pi Bay to see her mom. Crazy part, she finds out that her sister died from pancreatic cancer. We didn't even know about her sister. Bruce wants to bring Grace over there to the safe haven. They get some alone time, they kiss and all that. Then we find out Charles gotta go handle some business, right? Tell him to stay. Grace gotta go to the youth center, but she needs Bruce to come with him. Turns out when he go to the center, he sees all these red ribbons, and then we find out, oh shit, Grace is actually part of the Boxers crew. Like, what the fuck? So the thing is, Grace needs all the information about the triads because they're trying to take him down. But here's the thing. Bruce gives the information as long as his brother and his mom will be safe. He still goes to visit her husband and tells her basically she's going to take down the entire empire. Then all of a sudden, this nigga wakes up out of his coma. Alexis is watching after the house the entire time. It's a whole bunch of fucking mayhem, yo. Ended up saving him, Mikey, bottom line is episode 7. The Boxers tried to kill the triads. Bottom line is somebody got to them before that shit. Turns out mom was the one that got to him. Issa knew that her son Bruce was going to fuck around and snitch. All of a sudden, Dad comes to the house with the goons. Turns out Dad was never in the coma to begin with. He was just trying to see if his enemies was going to fuck up, and they did. Because at the end of the day, he wants to make Charles the head of the goddamn dragon family. So if she knew Bruce was going to fuck up, why didn't she give this information to Charles? Because Charles going to side with the dad regardless? Charles' bodyguard was the only one that knew that the dad went in the fucking coma for real. Bruce is talking to Grace again, which obviously Grace wants him dead, but here's the thing. Because all the tribes are going to meet up at the hotel, and Baron T, they haven't met up in like 40 years. The triads meet up, the cops are going to be there, the Boxers are going to be there. All of a sudden, mom comes through there like she got some votes. One of the head of the triads wants to keep her in the voting range, so therefore it's going back and forth between her and dad. The triads trying to play, the Boxers try to play a bomb. Bruce gets to the bomb, throws that shit in the gutter, and all hell's break loose after that. Niggas get deaded. Man, this shit is so crazy. Yo, hold up, I got some. So after all of this, before this, Bruce calls up Wendy's sister, you know what I'm saying, get some weapons and some guns and shit like that to be able to meet up at this meeting. Issa was feeling defeated until obviously she came up at the meeting out of nowhere. And remember when I told you Alexis had a tracker on Charles's phone? Charles's phone was in the car that was just sitting at the house, right? The only reason they even knew that is because Charles left his phone in his Ferrari. The same Ferrari that Bruce, Mikey, and Wendy's sister all under driving it or whatever like that. So they driving up to the meeting, and that's how Alexis knew that, oh, they on the move. Now it's time to go to this fucking meeting. Nigga. After all that mayhem happened, Charles and his dad got away or whatever like that. They ended up going back to Bruce's and mom's house. So we thinking to themselves, we can't kill mom. We gotta get you to kill Bruce. I like, the fuck?
Episode 8, season finale.
All right, season finale, let's get it. So basically, Bruce and mom got going to hiding. Charles finds him, almost kills Bruce. So Charles became chair leg Charles when he was 14 and beat somebody to death with a chair leg. The thing is, he finds out it wasn't an assassination attempt. It was actually a test by his dad. So Charles goes to confront his dad and tell him that he can't kill Bruce. So he's going to say his ex-bodyguard, he ain't going to do it. Bottom line, he ends up killing a bunch of people, whatever like that. He's shooting in the road, and he ends up getting arrested. Now, the thing is, Alexis was trying to make a deal with one of the triad bosses, right? The only one that's still breathing. And he basically says he'll give up everybody if you bring in Charles. So basically, Charles is in lockup and his family's in danger still. Liang gets to drop, but somehow mom ends up killing Liang. Bruce ends up talking to Alexis so he can speak to Charles. Bruce basically tells Charles that he's being the one that kills his dad. That's the only way he sees to get out of all this shit. Charles gives Bruce the location and Bruce and dad face to face. Bruce ends up shooting him in the stomach and tells him to call the ambulance, basically so he can't get away and go back to Thailand. He ends up getting arrested. Alexis moves up in a position. Mom is being nursed just to make sure that dad suffers. She gonna make the decision to go back to Taipei so she can be a dragon head leader but do things the right way. All right, so what was I saying after that? Oh, yeah. After the Taiwan boss gives a testimony on everybody in the triads and dad, bottom line is they let Charles free. He's actually starting his own little bakery thing, you know what I'm saying, with the churros and whatnot. Bruce is back doing the improv and an everyday normal life. Then when Mom's about to say goodbye to Bruce, you know what I'm saying, she's about to get on the plane, we find out Charles decides that he actually is going to go with her just to protect her, you know what I'm saying? And Bruce is basically going to be doing his own thing. Man, this show was up to change. A lot of mayhem and calamity, all types of stuff about protecting families. You got triads and boxers and shit. Oh yeah, Mikey got a tattoo. Now he's chilling with a bunch of ladies. Wendy's sister Mom's doing tattoos, but she's going to go with the rest of the family too, with Mom and Charles. And basically, that's how it wraps up. Show's pretty damn awesome, and I highly recommend it. The Brother's Son. Check that shit out.